You might hear a snowblower going in the background for part of this video, but this simply cannot wait because I have things to get to the post office before noon, so I have to film this right now. So that's what I get for living in Minnesota. But regardless, welcome to today's video, a video where we're gonna talk all about how to sell your clothes online and make some extra money. So, selling clothes online. There's a ton of apps out there now that you can use to do this. I like Poshmark and I like Depop the best. There's also tons of other ones. You can just look up like online marketplace on the app store and see what comes up. But Poshmark and Depop are definitely the most popular, which means you're gonna have the biggest audience looking at your clothes since there's the most users on those apps. So that's what I recommend to start with. Maybe start with one, try out the other one. And in this video, I'm not gonna go into all my tips about selling on each platform or how to increase your sales on Depop or any of that because I've made so many videos about that already. So what today's video is gonna be is me trying on the clothes, showing you how to take photos, and showing you how to package up items and giving you tips along the way. So if you're planning on going through your closet and selling some of your old clothes, here's some things to think about if like your clothing is actually gonna sell. You can always list it for a low price and see if it sells anyway, but here's some things that might increase your sales. So this shirt is a very bright color and it's not used, like it's not old and ratty or like it doesn't have pilling on it already. It's like in really good condition. So that is something you definitely want to have when you're selling your clothes. You don't want to be selling like your old clothes with holes in them. You want to be selling clothes that people would actually want because when they receive it, they're expecting it to be basically new unless you say otherwise. Unless you say like it's missing a button, then you'd say that in your description when you're listing the item on one of the apps, Depop or Poshmark. But otherwise, it should be in good condition when you're selling it. Also, just some things that would sell really well on some of these apps. People love things that are labeled as vintage. So if you have something from the 80s, like an 80s flannel, that would sell really well. Or people love things that are like Y2K right now. So that's like short little tank tops or bright colors. Like this one seems like it's a 90s vibe. Or if you have like low-waisted jeans, like all these things are really popular. So just think about the clothing trends that are currently going on. And if you have something in your closet that fits that you don't want anymore, it'll probably sell very quickly on one of these apps. So now some tips about your actual photos. So I'm gonna be using a very white background here, just these closet doors. You can use a wall, you can use anything. A lot of people also do like really fun backgrounds. Like they go outside and take photos that look like Instagram quality photos of them like actually posing like with their face in it. But what I tend to do with my listings is to use a plain background and then like cut off at my neck so it's just the item of clothing. So if this was the camera I was taking the picture on, I would just go in like this and pose like this so you can see the item super clearly and then it's not like my face in it. I don't need my face in like everything I'm selling. So I have this tripod for my phone and I usually just take the photos on my phone because then I can post them directly from my phone onto the apps. And I got this app at Amazon. I think it was like $10 or $15, but it's totally worth it. I use it all the freaking time. And the legs are adjustable and you just put it out like this and then you put your phone in it and take the photos that way. Another tip is that you need to have your camera in square mode. So I'm gonna do that right now. That tightens everything up and most of the apps that you're posting on only accept photos that are in a square format. So if you don't take it right away in square, then it might like make issues later on and cut off like a section of the clothing that you're trying to sell if it's like a long dress. So be sure to take your photos in square mode right away. So like I showed you before, this is one of the shirts that I'm selling and I just don't want to keep it because these straps don't really fit my shoulders right and I don't like having to wear like strapless bras with it. So I'm letting it go to someone else, but I think it's adorable and will sell very quickly on Depop or Poshmark. And another tip that I have for taking the photos on your phone is to put it on burst mode because then you can set a timer. I usually do like the 3-second one and then I back up, I pose, and then I go through and select the photos I want to keep once I do all of that. So I set the timer, I'm backing up, I'm posing. I usually do one pose with my hands on my hips and then I do another one showing off the top or the neckline. So my next pose is gonna be like this. I look absolutely ridiculous in this camera. That's so funny. Oh, I hate seeing myself from the side, but I'm doing this. But since the neckline is the most important part, I'm just gonna get more angles of that. Okay, I think that's good with that piece. And let me show you the next 3 things that I'm also selling. Okay, here I am in the next shirt. And something I forgot to mention is that you're also going to want to take a photo of the tag of the item that you're selling so people can see the original tag and the size. So be sure to do that as well. Okay, this shirt is one that I think will be really good for the holidays, but it's sort of like itchy on my arm. So I'm getting rid of this one. But it has like jewels on it and that is something I want to take a close-up of when I'm taking my photos. So I'll be sure to post. You can see all the cute little jewels on the shirt as well as the hemline because it has little tassels at the bottom. Another thing you're going to want to do with a lot of shirts is get the picture of the back. With the pink one, I didn't really need to because it was just like the exact same. There was nothing different about it. But this one is plain on the back and I want people to know that. So I'm going to take a photo this way as well. And be sure to check all your photos so they don't look stupid before you post them and before you like take off the shirt again. Be sure that they're like the ones that you want. The next thing I'm selling is just a plain green, light green polo shirt and there's not that much to say say about it. I'm just going to tuck it in a little bit when I'm taking the photo and be sure to show off the neckline and show how wide it is, because that's something important to do so people know if it's going to fit them or not. Along the lines of showing like how wide a piece of clothing is on you, you should also measure all of your items and put the measurements in the descriptions, because that'll help people actually know if it's going to fit them, especially if you're selling like pants. You need to put the waist measurements on there and the inseam so people know how long they are and if they're going to fit them. So even with shirts, I usually measure with a measuring tape like the widest part from like armpit to armpit, and then like the length and also the sleeve length if it's not short sleeved, so people can know if it's the piece that they want and if it'll fit them perfectly. So be sure to do that as well. And now the last piece that I'm selling is an orange sort of sweater vest sort of thing with a zipper, and I put on another shirt underneath it, a turtleneck, because it's nice to show like an entire outfit that someone could wear, because they probably wouldn't wear just like this sweater vest on its own. So having something under it is probably going to help it sell more, because people will see like what they could wear it with. So for this one, I'm probably going to take photos of it unzipped and then zipped up as well. And that's it for the photo portion of this video. So if you haven't taken photos of the tags, do that now. Don't forget to do that. And now what I usually do is that I upload the photos into an app called Snapseed. So I love this app because you can brighten the background of the photos by selecting certain colors and brightening that color. So I choose the color white and then brighten it all the way up, so it looks sort of like I'm against nothing, just like a blank wall, or that it's like a cutout of me against just like a white background. So that's a super nice thing that you can do. Additionally, you can use the app PixArt and you can actually cut out yourself of the photo, so you can cut out around your body, and this app sort of like does that for you, or you can like clean up the edges. So that's another thing you can do, and then you can change the background color to like purple if you wanted, because it'll just be like a sticker of yourself in the article of clothing. So that's also a good option if you want to have a fun background for your photos. All right, so now let's quickly talk about packaging. All you're gonna need to package your items and basically to sell on Depop or Poshmark in general is some sort of mailing bag, masking tape, a printer, and some tissue paper. So these are the two items that I sold. One is a brown suede skirt, and the other one is also a skirt, but it is denim and embroidered. Very, very cute. Whoever's getting these are very lucky. I just wish they fit me a little better. But what I usually do is I wrap each item in tissue paper into a little like present sort of thing, and then I slide it into a bag. So these are called poly mailer bags, and you can order them off of Amazon, and you can get packs of like 100 for like $15, which is super nice, and they come in tons of different colors that you can find. And they're actually really durable for shipping, so that's something that's super, super helpful. And I've been thinking about switching to like a more sustainable shipping option, like something that's made of paper, but since I already have so many of these ordered, I'm gonna use them up, and then I'll look around and see what other options there are. If you know any other options, please leave them in the comments down below so I can see and everyone else can see too. And a reason you're gonna need a printer is because you can print out shipping labels that are prepaid and then just stick them to your packages. You can also go into a post office and pay for the package to be shipped there, but I think this is way easier, because then, you know, those like blue mailboxes that are out just on the street, you can drop your packages for Depop or Poshmark or any other app selling online, selling your clothes, into those mailboxes without even going into a post office. So that is something that's super, super helpful, and it saves you a ton of time because they're everywhere. They're at like grocery stores or even just like on the sidewalk. So let me get packing and I'll show you the finished product. All right, so here are the packages all ready to go. Not really trying to show you my address, but these are the two colors of bags that I have right now. They're so easy to use. This part just peels off and you stick it down, like it has adhesive on it already, which is super nice. And then I also had a pair of shoes, so that's why I have a shoe box. So those are the finished packages, really quick and easy and super cute. Okay, that about sums it up for this video. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below, or if you want to know how to actually list your items on these apps or how to increase your sales on these apps, check out some of my other videos that I've done on that topic. I will have them all in the description box. And thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if this was a good time, and I'll see you guys in my next video.